All right, so I'll just give a quick introduction for people who just don't know Ilya. I think I've had the opportunity to know him for past few years since his work started with Lemlist and Lempod and LinkedIn Growth Hackers community. I think wherever you go, you can find this guy pretty much everywhere. So that is when we got to know each other. And currently, he is working in growth marketing at Lemlist. And for those of you who don't know, Lemlist is an outbound email platform. I think he'll talk better about it. I'm not sure if I'm not doing the justice to the brand, but yeah, I think I'll leave him to talk more about it. The best part is that he grew a community, and what I love about personally, about his work is he does he does the little things and he does it right. Whenever you talk to people who are into growth, you expect them to share you some magic, but in reality, it's just doing the basics right, and ensuring that you don't do things which you shouldn't be doing at that point of time as well. So that is a line where you have to draw, and he has done it pretty right, especially into early stage startups as well. So a lot to hear from you, and people, as always, please use the Q&A box. We'll ensure that the questions are asked to him in the right way at the end. So Ilya, I'm just gonna leave the screen to you, man, and let's get started.
Okay. Hey everyone, and if you have any questions, ask me at any time. I'll be super happy to help today. I'll be really happy to share my experience with community, because with Lampod, the product that was acquired like a year ago, I guess, we created the community at the very beginning. With Lemlist as well, we created the community, and now we are growing it, and we are building it for 3.5 years, I guess. So yeah, community is a part of our game, and let me share with you how we work with it. Lakshman, Shamana, can I ask you to mute yourself? I guess that there are some noise around. Yeah, okay. Thank you. So I'm sharing the screen. If at any point you have any questions, okay, let's go. If at some point I have any questions to you, please reply in chat, okay? So let's start. The first one, okay, community building. That's our topic. Who am I? A little bit thing, like a few words about myself. I'm a growth marketer at Lemlist. We have more than 10K paid customers. Right now, we are at the point of 8 million ARR in annual recurring revenue. And we reached this point in less than 3.5 years with no funding and in a fully bootstrap mode. My previous job I was head of growth of Lampod, and that was the product from the Lemlist team. But we sold it, and it was acquired almost a year ago. And Lampod reached 40K ARR, 40K MRR, like monthly recurring revenue, from 4K in just 7 months. That was a huge growth, really. And also, I'm a mentor at Startup Wise, guys. But yeah, okay. So why community? To be honest, we're growing kind of fast, especially when it comes to bootstrap startups. It's not that easy to grow just because you don't have so much, you don't have that amount of money to put into scaling and all that stuff. You're working in bootstrap mode, but still, even in this really competitive market, even during this really hard times, like COVID, pandemic time, and all that stuff, we could reach 8 million ARR. And to be honest, community was one of the main reasons why did we do this, why it happened. And before we start talking about the exact tactics that we use to grow and keep it active, let's step back and ask, why do we need community? And to be honest, 3 years ago, we decided to create, I wasn't at the company, but Jon decided to create the community at that time. And we didn't have the real goal behind it. So the whole goal was to just communicate to lots of people and on scale. Just ask them questions so they can ask us questions. We can all discuss like the real family, like the real friends. But later on, we understood that we created something that others can do. We created something that people can't copy. And this is the communication and the new level communication between us and our clients. And when it comes to this really smart guy, he said that, okay, build something that is not, which is not really easy to replicate. Because at the very beginning, again, it's not like you just create the product. You don't have lots of features at the very beginning, but then you're becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And then some new products are coming to the market and they try to copy your killer features and all this stuff. And now you try to compete with them with features. You try to create more features that they do, all this stuff, but that's not a good game. Just because if they have a little bit better developers, they will win. But we as marketers try to create something better, something new. We try to communicate, we try to create the new way of communication between the brand and people. We tried, because now with community, we don't have actual clients and the product. We have Lemlisters. They're part of our family and so on and so forth. That's why, to be honest, from the global level, we do believe that community is a really cool thing that you should do. It was only one reason. Okay, I will share with you more reasons a bit later, but the initial reason is that you just create the new pattern of communication, because it's so hard to communicate with Coca-Cola or with Apple. You have some communities, but it's so hard to feel that you are part of the family, just because you don't communicate to them like this, like human to human. But within the community, it's possible. And this is the thing that will help you to create this new feeling between you and your clients. So let's go and let's talk about the first things first. Okay, there might be 6 goals that somewhere. Can you hear me? Sorry, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, I guess that someone from the chat can hear me. And
okay. I'm not really sure, but we can hear you. Let's go ahead.
Okay. So there are 6 main reasons why you should create the community. Okay, the first one, it's understand the market. The second one, it's get the initial feedback. The third one, it get insights. Then it's share your content. That it's one more channel to share your product updates. And then it's decrease the churn. And I will show you, how can we reach all the things with just community? Of course, it's, to be honest, it's really hard to reach all of them at the same time, but still you can do this. Okay, let's start with understand the market. At the very beginning, when you're creating your product and you're trying to create try to create your SaaS or something, you need to understand the market. And how can you understand the market? A, you can just go and talk to people one-on-one, demo calls and all this stuff. B, you can create some landing pages and test them. C, you can hire some researchers and they will research you something. Yeah, but the community is a really cool thing, that it's a really cool place that can help you understand the market. What I mean, before you create the product, you create the community of professionals of a specific niche, with people from a specific niche. And then you talk to them, you ask them about the questions, and then about things that you need to know. So for example, I do want to know what is the _1 CRM system that people use. And then I just ask them in the community, and then, I know who uses what. Okay, and then I ask, hey, what are the things that are you using for this? Hey, what are the things that you use for that? And community, it's the place where lots of people engage with one content. They engage with one post. And that's why by just spending 1 minute to prepare the post and 1 minute to share it, you will get 50, 60, 70, 100 replies and comments from people. And as a result, in a really short period of time, you will be able to understand lots of things from the market, really much more. You'll understand how people solve this issues. What are the various numbers of solutions for this or that thing? That will help you a lot. And really, as a way of getting that is super, super important. When you're trying to find the product market fit, you need to understand the market better. And with community, you can understand the market on scale. So, okay, community is really good for this. That's good. Okay, let me check. Do we have any questions now? Yeah. Okay, the second one, get initial feedback. When you're creating your product, it's crucial for you to get the feedback from day zero. Why? Because you actually don't know what you're gonna create. You only understand that, okay, people probably have this pain and then I want to create this solution. But in reality, you really don't understand what you want to create. So Mark Zuckerberg didn't know like how Facebook should look like in 5 years when he just created the Facebook. The same is here. So you don't know how your product will look like in 2 years, but people can help you with this. So you create the first version of the product and then you ask for feedback. And at the same time, okay, it's the same with understanding the market. You can talk to them on demo calls, but how many demo calls can you have per day? Like 5, 7, maximum 10? Okay, it's not scalable at all. It's cool, but at the same time, it's not scalable. That's the first one. And the second one, it's basically the quantitative analysis. Yeah, okay, people, you can see some information in your Google Analytics, but that's not good. You will not see what people actually think about your product. You will just see that people don't use this feature, or people visit this page and then go away. That's the problem. Yes. Okay. With community, you can get the real feedback on scale. You create your product, you share your product, your first version of the product to people. They reply to you with their feedback. They say, hey, it's good or it's bad or something else. And as a result, you understand you understand better how you should create the product. This is the example of Lemlist. This is just the example from Lemlist. At the very beginning, we had a totally different design. That was the very first version of the design. And then in 6 months, we decided to change that design to a new one. And we shared this new design with people firstly. Like, we didn't push it to the public. We shared with people. They gave us the feedback in 1, 2, 3 days. Then we understood that, okay, it doesn't work at all. We need to change it at all. And then we changed that. So community is a really nice and reactive way, like an extremely fast way to get the feedback, especially when you need it at the very beginning, like especially okay. Then get insights. That's a really good thing. Usually there are some global trends on the market, really, okay, personalization or something else, but there are sometimes some micro trends, things that are happening, and they're micro trends, like small trend in something. And one of the small trends in cold emailing back in 2018 was deliverability. Lots of people wanted to send cold emails, but at the same time, they didn't want to send their cold emails to a spam folder. And as a result of that, in the community, people come to the community and try to share their ideas. There's like something that they want to get, like probably they want to get the feedback on their ideas. And one day, this guy came to our community and asked, hey, is it possible to create a pod, a closed group of people, and we will email to each other and then mark all our emails as important and as not as spam. That's why we can help each other to increase our deliverability. Then we understood, okay, this idea is really, really nice. We can take this idea and use it as a feature in our product. That's how Lemwarm, like one of our best features in terms of revenue, Lemwarm, that is how Lemwarm was created and was built. So community is a really nice place to get these small insights and from the market and these small micro trends. Why? Because actually when people have some ideas, they want to share them. And when they want to share with them, they want to share them with the community of people like I am, like with salespeople, with growth hackers or someone, and then get the feedback on it. So this is a really good thing as well. Okay, share your content. I will not spend too much time on this, but share your content, like Community is a really nice place to share your content, your new articles, get feedback, and so on and so forth. I can talk I can talk for a long time about this, but really, community is a nice place where you can get like 1K, 2K, 3K traffic from community just during the first week once you created and published your article. You don't get traffic from SEOs at the very beginning. Yes, that's true, because it's so hard to get it. But you don't want to spend too much money on Facebook ads and retargeting and all that stuff. That's why like you don't have traffic as well. But sharing content within community can help you a lot. Okay, product updates. Nothing new. Okay, everyone knows that if there is a community of people, some of them your users, some of them are not, and you share some product, like you can freely share your product updates, especially if you're the admin of this group. So yeah, nothing super special. And the engagement of these posts are usually very nice. Okay, and decrease the churn. The last thing that can help you, like the last reason why you should create a community is decrease the churn. Usually when people have some issues, problems, and questions, what they do, they go to the support team and ask the question. And what happens if this person doesn't get a reply during 10 minutes? They just go away. Of course, at some point, like they will receive the email with the answer from our support team and all this stuff. Of course, we can handle it. But right now with the community, people have one more channel to ask about their problems. So they go to the support at the very beginning, they ask questions. If they don't get an answer, or like they just, don't are not satisfied with that answer, they just right now they go to the community and try to ask questions over there. And within the community, you can help them with this. Okay. Then how to grow the community. Okay, let's talk about how we grew it and how to grow it right now. Okay, the first one, we need to choose the goal. Okay, to me, there are two big goals. The first one, it's acquisition. So basically, we need to acquire more clients and more users. The second one, it's the retention. So we need to help our current users get better results, and to help our current users know more about our product, and as a result, we'll keep them for a longer time. So their lifetime value is increasing. Okay, two different goals. And for these two different goals, we need to use two different strategies. Okay, for the first goal, it's acquisition. For acquisition, we need to create the community about the topic. So for example, you can see LinkedIn Growth Hackers. This is the community that was created for Lampod. Lampod helped with LinkedIn, but Lampod helped with LinkedIn growth, but we didn't create the Lampod family. We created LinkedIn Growth Hackers. Why? Because this group was created to acquire new clients and to acquire new users. So we named it like a group about the big topic. That's the first one. Okay, the second one, the retention. So we need more people use Lemlist, and not only use but use Lemlist for a longer time. So if you have questions, they ask. If they don't know how to use the product, we can help them and all this stuff. So in this case, we named the group as Lemlist family. So it's fully branded. It's fully branded about the product. It's only product oriented and all this stuff. So two big goals: acquisition. That means that we name the group about the name will be about the topic. The second one is retention. So the name will be about the product. Okay, then let's talk about the acquisition. There are different tactics that help us on different stages, but I'll share with you like almost all of them that we use to acquire more users to our community. So, okay, the first one, we mentioned our Facebook group within the product. Okay, you can see it right here, like on the left side, on the right side. Okay, the second one, we mention our community within our email onboarding. Why? Because we need more clients, we need more users to join the group. So we have one more channel to communicate with them. And that's really important. The third one, we mentioned the Facebook group within our content that we produce on blog, on articles, and so on and so forth. So it's also super important. So more people from who read the article will see, okay, hey, there is a cool community, there is a cool closed group, and I want to be the part of that group. Because when people see there is something exclusive, there is something like a closed group, you can join it, but like I'm not sure that you will join that. Like I can tell you that, okay, for sure you will join it. Now you have that feeling, okay, hey, there is an exclusive group, I want to be a part of that. So that's why I like mention your community in your content as well. The third one, or the fourth one, we use the cold email outreach and cold email lead generation, cold lead generation to acquire more targeted people to our community. So, okay, you see right now, we already have current clients because we mentioned a community in our app, in our email onboarding. We already have people who know about us, but about our content only. Like we mentioned it on our blog. So not everyone who is reading our blog is our client. So there are lots of people who do know about us, but don't really use us. So they have closer to us, but stuff. And the third group of people is the people who we want to acquire. So we want those people be our clients, but we don't want to push them. We don't want to say, hey, I want to sell you something. No, we do it in another way. We come to these people, we come to our target audience and say, hey, yo, I know that you're a cool expert within a specific and narrow niche. I want to ask you like to join our closed and exclusive group for people like you are. So please feel free to join it. And people join it just because when you say, hey, Ilya, you look like a cool expert. Like, do you want to join the exclusive group of people like you are? I would say yes, of course. That's why in this case, we acquire new people who might be our clients. That they're not our clients right now, but they might be. Okay. We send the email, the cold email like this. So, and if you take a look at this, it's a bit old and outdated email, but overall the current one, it's like almost the same. It's the intro line, reference to our LinkedIn connection, then the image personalization that we do with Lemlist, and then a small pitch, a small like call to action where we share that our community is really, really awesome and it's only for people like you are. Okay, and then we got cool replies from Canva, Revolut, Telegraph, and lots of other companies. And that's why in our community, and that's why at some point they became our clients. Probably not these companies, but also big companies, just because they joined the community, they now understand and know more about Lemlist. Then they start checking our content, then they start asking some questions, then they get replies from us, then they start helping other people, and then when they understand that they need something like the solution like Lemlist, they go with Lemlist. Okay, and the fifth acquisition stuff, it's like we understand that community for us is like a product. It's like a new one. It's like another product that we created. So we try to promote it through our social media as well. So we usually share some information with, hey, like there are lots of cool stuff that we share in the community. Please check it out. So we try to promote it through our community, through our social media as well. Okay, do we have, okay. I can click on Q&A, but okay. Then, okay, about acquisition, it's clear, I guess. One more thing, which is also important. Why did we pick Facebook over other platforms? To be honest, there are not that many platforms for community building. One of them is Facebook, and Facebook is really good. A, because lots of people have a Facebook account. B, lots of people have Facebook on their phone, so on their mobile. The third one is that if you join the group and we share some content in like within the group, and you're just a member of Facebook group, of our Facebook group, and you open your feed, like your news feed, you scroll, and at some point you will see our content, because Facebook takes some cool content from the group and shows it to like a specific group of people from our community organically. So even if you don't want to jump with it on the community, to click in the community and check what's going on over there, you will see it, like whether you want it or not, you will see this organically. And the fourth reason is that basically Facebook, it's about friends. It's about the real people. So you're just kind of much more real there than on LinkedIn. When it comes to LinkedIn is really bad in terms of algorithms for communities and for groups. So like LinkedIn is really bad for community building. And Slack, I really like Slack for community building just because there are not that many people who have Slack, and B, you need to click to a specific community to see the real notification, to see the real discussion. And if you don't do this click, you will not see anything. With Facebook, you see content organically. That's why it's super important, because even if people join your group right now and they're not that active, in a week or two, they will start like checking your content organically, and then they will start checking your group also organically. Okay, so about activation. Basically, there are 3 steps to activate more users. The first one, when they join the group, we need to ask them questions. Okay, who you are, what's your LinkedIn profile, and what's your email, so we can share with you some cool information. That's our questions. You can use your own questions to qualify people and all this stuff. Then what we do, we scrape all those people with instant data scraper and put them in our CSV file. Then we send the 3 steps email sequence, like email, LinkedIn, email, to send the welcome message to those people. Say, hey, yo, it's super awesome to see you over here in our group. And if you have any questions, just ask me at any time. Plus, here are some useful links, like the link to the article, link to the video, all this stuff. Then the LinkedIn step is when we try to connect with them. So we have more people in our LinkedIn network that are super relevant to us, right? Like they know about our brand, they know us, all this stuff. And the third one, like one more email to just follow up and share some value proposition from Lemlist. Okay, the second step when it comes to activation, you have an ability to welcome all new members of the community with just one post. You do this post, you tag every single person who joined the group during the last week, and they will see the notification, and you just start the conversation like, hey, yo, just let's talk about this. And you tag everyone, you post, and everyone, of course, will see the notification. They start engaging and all this stuff. It's super important for only new members. So if you're in this community for 6 months, and then you're among other 100 people who were also tagged, you will not engage. But when you're just new, of course, you will engage and you will feel, okay, wow, super cool. These people tagged me, that's why I need to reply and need to engage. The third step is that when you have 0 people, from 0 to 500 people, you will need to send the personal Facebook messages with video welcome message, like, hey, yo, I see that you, Adam, you, Sarah, you, Guillaume, you, Ilya, joined this group. Really awesome. If you have any questions, please ask me at any time. That really builds, it will really help you to build those first 300, 400, 500 of people, real promoters of your community. They will love you. They will love you because you're that cool, and you're sharing some, you're that cool to just come to them and personally say welcome. That means I will help you. I already like you. Yeah. Okay. So with these 500 people, first 500 people, they will need to get this warm welcome video message from you, and that will help you a lot. Okay, about the content. To be honest, when it comes to content, it's so hard to explain what type of content you should have. But there are a few things that I guess that are super important. The first one is that I will share the slides, no worries about that. And would you focus only on one channel like Facebook community or several channels at the same time? You mean like if it comes to acquisition channels, like I would focus on several, like Facebook, community, and some content creation, and some other stuff, and social media. But if you're talking about the platform, I would focus on only one platform. So create the community only in Facebook, not on Facebook, Slack, and LinkedIn at the same time. But okay, give me just 3 minutes, and I will go through the rest of slides. Okay. Okay, so when it comes to the content, you need to A, give value, B, be practical, C, be engaging. 3 things. That's why, and try to, at the very beginning, you don't know what type of content will work, really. Try to experiment a lot. So we experimented a lot, just believe me. During the last year, we had, I don't know, 25 types of posts that we posted. Like some of them were like the use cases from our clients. Other were like growth hacks from our community, and more and more and more. Some of them were useless, but just for engagement. Some others were so deep, like the real article, but in one post with lots of screenshots. Some of them of the posts were webinars and so on and so forth. At the very beginning, it's so hard to say that this type of content will work, but try to experiment and follow these 3 rules: engaging, valuable, and practical. These 3 things. So in our case, for example, webinars with top people helped a lot. For example, this is the webinar with Aaron Ross, and that helped us a lot because it builds the trust to the community. Plus it's valuable, plus it's engaging because it's Aaron Ross, right? And it's valuable. So, okay, that's really cool. Another one, and try to experiment with content a lot, but keep this 3 lines. Keep the 3 ways to go with. Another one is that, of course, check the user-generated content. So when it comes to user-generated content, be super careful, because there will be so many spammers, there will be so many haters, there will be so many competitors who will like to destroy the group. That's why don't let anyone to post until you accept the post. That's one thing. Another thing, when you see that people share some cool content and this content is coming from actual users, really ask all your friends, ask all your team members to engage with this post and to help them with visibility. Because at the very beginning, you will not have that many user-generated content posts. But and once you see them, try to support it from all the guns. Really try to support those that type of content. Later on, there will be much more people who will share their content. The users who will share their content. But at the very beginning, try to support them a lot, and try to use tags and this category system and these filters, so more people can easily find your previous content. So new people can easily navigate through the group. Nurture. So when it comes to nurturing, do you remember that we collected emails of those people who joined the group? That's good. Now we have an ability to send our emails. So when it comes to Lemlist family, we usually send Lemlist family digest 2 times per month, where we share some cool information about what happened within the group during the last 1 or 2 weeks. Hey, someone shared a cool post. Hey, someone shared a cool discussion. Hey, we had the webinar. Oh, we did something like this. So try to share some highlights from the community live during the last 2 weeks in one email. And that will help you a lot to engage more and more people. And analysis. To be honest, we use 3 things to analyze community and community growth. So the first one is actually the amount of new people who join the group. The second one is the amount of active people. So they usually like or comment or do some other actions with our content. And the third one is how much traffic do we get precisely from the community? And do we get any registration or conversions or paid, are there any paid users who are coming from this community? And in order to do this, we use the UTM marked link. So when we shared every single link within our community to our articles and so forth. So 3 things that help us to understand whether it's going in the right direction or in a bad direction. Okay, that's it. Q&A.
Thanks, Ilya. I think it was a wonderful session. I think most people have mentioned it in the chat already as well, that they have found it pretty interesting. Yes, guys, this webinar is recorded, and we will be sharing the slides later on with you with the recording as well. So no worries on that. We've got you covered. Thanks, Ilya, once again for the session. I think we'll jump into the questions. We have quite a few already. Let me just pull them one by one. Just give me some sec. Okay. Okay, obviously I just told people that, what's going to be my first question. So if you were to build, this community right from scratch once again, we know how you scaled, the Lemport community. And if you were to start it from scratch once again, so what would be that one thing, you would be changing, from the past experience? Hey, this is something, I won't be repeating it, or this is something I want to do differently.
Yeah, okay. To be honest, I would experiment with content much more. So at the very beginning, you try with a few ideas, just like with a few ideas, you share some type of content, and that's good, but you need to experiment a lot, because this type of content will not work during 6 months or so. Why? Because it's always the same, and you need to change the format and the stuff, blah, blah, blah. And like, you really need to work on experimentation when it comes to content. Try different things, try videos, and share some documents, and share some Notion files, or share some cool posts, huge stories, small text, like different things. Try different things, and then you'll understand what's working with these people right now. And then don't stop. Always try again. Because back in the days, I found a few types of posts that work pretty well, and I just used them again and again.
Yeah.
And it didn't work for a long, like in long run. So you understand what I mean?
I think you mentioned that you experimented with almost 25 different posts, in the initial days, and now you're just mentioning that, probably.
No, not the initial days. During the last year. Not the initial days.
Okay. So probably we might have to do that a bit earlier, I guess. Great. Yeah. So the next question, I think I'll just move on to what people have shared with me. First one is from Dasha, and she asks, I'm sorry for that. Do you set monthly or weekly KPIs for your community growth? If yes, what are they?
Yeah. We have we have quarterly goals, and it depends on the quarter. So at some quarter, we can see and feel that the community is not growing super well. So, and when you understand that, okay, the community is not growing that well, that we need to work on the growth in terms of new people. So we put this KPI, like community growth. Or at some point, for example, like this month, we see that it's not the KPI, it's more like a delivers, the things that we should do. We don't know about the results, but we just want to test. So we see that the community growth is good, the active rate is really nice, but we feel that like we lack of some cool types of content. That's why for this quarter, we'll have 3 or 4 different cool types of content that we didn't test in the past. And we will have like from 5 to 7 posts per each type of content that we're gonna share, to understand whether it's working well or whether it's working bad. So for this quarter, it's like this. It depends on the quarter. It depends on what we want to get in 3 months. We want to get more people, or more engagement, or just try new things, or I don't know, increase the conversion rate from people who visit from the community to the paid users. It also might be the KPI, but yeah. Okay.
I think it's more from the goal which you set, and then you start your community, and then based on that, you take the KPIs and start measuring it out, if I'm not wrong. Yep. Okay, I'll just move on to the next one. So this is from Devarti, and how to create or engage in communities for niche audiences and markets like DevOps, SecOps. I'm not sure what SecOps is. What are the best channels for reaching out to them? So basically marketplaces which doesn't have a huge audience, like marketing and sales, that obviously has a huge audience. But for communities like, a DevOps community, which doesn't have a huge audience out there. So what would be your take on that?
Oh, why not? Why? Like, you can always create communities. I mean, Reddit is a good example. Like, if you can find some subreddits, where people like engage and talk about specific topic, it means that you can create a community like this, but on other platforms, and to do it much better and much easier, like for example with Facebook. And when it comes to, I don't know, I mean, growth marketers, how many growth marketers do we have on the market? Not that many. I mean, like I know much more DevOps than growth marketers. Like, I mean, like back in the days, I knew much more DevOps than growth marketers. Or for example, LinkedIn professionals. Yeah, okay, we have some, but not a lot. So at the very beginning, you understand your niche. You try to name your group like, hey, DevOps family or something like this. So let's discuss DevOps things, blah, blah, blah. Then you try to reach out to the first 100 of people and try to invite them. If you don't have anyone, if you don't have friends from this group, from this niche and all this stuff, if you don't have the network, just try to reconnect with first 100, invite them, and keep it small and active. And then when you see that, okay, people are engaging, people are cool, then ask them to spread the word about this community to others. So
I think, Deb, I think you would have got your answer by then. If there is a Reddit or, if there is any place, even if there are like 1,000 members, you can always put them together. There is always a place to create that. So this is a common question which I'm getting. So I'm just going to consolidate and ask it. So let's say you're starting a community from scratch. What would be your channel of acquiring these community members from 0 to 500 maybe? Multiple people have asked this in different formats, but I'm just consolidating it for you guys.
Okay. That's a good question, to be honest. It depends on your current situation. So for example, I already have the network of marketers and growth marketers. So when, for example, I started with LinkedIn growth hackers, like I already had some people who I wanted to invite to that group because they are my friends or they're like a part of my network. And you already have, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 people who might be a good fit for this group already. Because you already talked to, like you're already in the market, you already know some people, and you can invite them. But that's not a lot, right? Okay, 50, 40 people, that's easy. Probably up to 100. Let's say up to 100, no more, because I don't know whether you have that many friends, because I don't. And after that,
humble, guys.
Yeah, after that, I tried to share as much information as possible on my social media, on my LinkedIn, on my Facebook. So more people who I, for example, didn't think that this person might feel value from this community, but they feel that they may get it. So they join. And that's one thing. And another one, I just tried to start the cold email and cold LinkedIn outreach to connect with people from our target audience. So I understand that, okay, they fit our ideal customer profile and we need to see them in our community, and I just try to invite them. To be honest, they usually are super happy to join the group because you don't want to sell them anything and they just feel, hey, I'm an expert. Of course, they want me to join the group. That's why I will. So, okay, you understand this. And one more thing is that if you're creating the product or you have the email list, or you have the email list of your current users, invite them as well. Just invite them. If you don't have them, okay, go with friends plus cold email outreach from your ideal customer profile, from your buyer persona, and then it's okay. It's a bit like longer time, like you will reach 500 a bit later, but still it's a nice option. Another one, if you already have some audience on your email list from your subscribers to your blog or your current clients, customers, and so forth, invite them. So from 0 to 500, from 0 to 100, invite all your friends. From 100 to 500, either go with cold outreach, or that's just one of the options. Of course, you can use some different with cold outreach and social media distribution, and send the information to your current audience.
That's awesome. I think, guys, if you had listened closely, he did mention about, how they launched the community as a product, and they went ahead and promoted the community just like they have launched a new product. So pretty much whatever you're doing it for your product, they did the same thing for the community as well, like writing LinkedIn posts, social promotion, etc. And that actually gave them the boost. So that is one more thing to look into if at all you're looking at, building a community right from 0 to 1. Okay, so this is another question from Alex, and we'll probably take one more question after this, and then I'll leave you to it. So is Facebook really suitable for business communities? Is it, if it is more informal and personal space than LinkedIn? Basically, many people use Facebook as a personal space, and do you think that it is a good place to talk business out there? How has been?
Oh, that's one of the reasons why I like Facebook. Why? Because in Facebook, you feel that other people are your friends. I mean, like, it's just your real life. And when you talk to people on Facebook, it means that you're a real person, and you feel that they're like real people as well. They're not MBAs from Boston on LinkedIn with this awesome face, or they're not that super successful businessman from Instagram. No, they're real people. That's why people are just much more, it's much easier to talk to them over there.
Yeah.
They don't. So I'll be super honest with you. Facebook is much better in terms of content features, in terms of community features. But at the same time, people on this platform are different. I mean, like, of course they have LinkedIn profile and Instagram profile as well, but they just communicate on different platforms in a different way. So on Facebook, for me, they just communicate like to your friends. And our idea was to create the family of our users and our like people from the market who might be our clients, okay, and and like to make it as a family. So yeah, it worked well.
It's awesome, and I think making more of a real-time connection compared to LinkedIn, you just have to turn the tables, Alex. I think that's what he's saying. So one last question before we wind up. So apart from creating, value-add content, what else can you do in order to keep the, members active? I think creating a community is one part, but creating an active community is another part. It's something, where people have to reciprocate whatever you are putting in as well. So what are some of the efforts you do to keep your members active in the community?
Good question. Good question. So of course, you share some content, but content might be different. So you can share just to like a sad, alone, boring story. People will not engage. Or you can probably ask people to leave their LinkedIn URLs in comments, so more people can network with each other just with this post. And that's why there will be lots of people who will comment, and this post will reach lots of people. It's kind of useless in terms of the real value and in terms of hacks, strategies, and so forth, but it's super useful because people can network with each other and they engage a lot. And next time they will see the post from this group, they will feel that, okay, I know this group for sure. That's one thing. Okay, content might be different. Some content might be engaging. B, like the second thing, when you see that there is a question from other people and you approve this post, try to tag some people. And if you understand that, okay, they ask you about, hey, how to do this in the e-commerce business. That's the question, like blah, 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 how to do this in XYZ in an e-commerce business. And 5 people from this e-commerce business, you just tag them. You just tag them and say, hey, I guess that you know the answer. And they will always feel, oh my God, and like Ilya feels that I'm an expert in this topic. I will really happy to help just because like we are like friends, Hey, I don't know, Guillaume, hey, Vuk, random names. Hey, please come here and help. I guess that you're the best person that can help with this. So people will engage. And the third one, to be honest, we send email digests right now to our LAM family members. So right now we try to engage them through email channel as well. And the active rate is going up with this new stuff. But overall, there are lots of other small things that you can use, because you can reach out to people indirectly in messages. You can just ask more questions than share value. They share some content. So you ask more, people will engage more than you share, because when you share, people just say thank you, and ask you a few questions if they have. So just depends on the goal. If you want to keep them active, just share cool content and engage with them and send them email newsletters. But if you feel that there is a lack of engagement and you feel that, okay, there are so many people who don't engage with my post, then just change the type of the post, just change the type of the email that you send, and so on and so forth. But for me, these are 3 ways to boost it.
That's awesome. So just one question, because it just drills down better. I'm just trying to get to the end of it so that we can understand things better and get some actionable insights. So we spoke about creating different types of content, and we spoke about creating content that will trigger engagement as well. Now, one main format which you mentioned in your presentation as well was videos. How different types of videos work, and how exactly they help. And I just wanted to ask you on that as well. So you mentioned in your recent post, don't do YouTube. Instead, create unprofessional but valuable Loom videos and share them your experience. Even though I hate you for telling that you should create Loom videos, you can always do Vmaker videos there instead of Loom. But still, you mentioned how creating such videos also help. So what kind of videos actually do help with respect to community in your experience? Like, what are the different things you have tried out and what actually worked better?
Okay. We are the tool for cold emailing. And one of the best type of content that people really like is either we share the growth hacks and strategies that people don't know because they're kind of unique and so on and so forth. And we create the Loom video about how to do this or how to solve the question that usually people have and nobody knows how to really do this, or probably almost nobody knows. So of course, that's one thing. So strategies, growth hacks, all that stuff. So for example, how to generate leads from angel.co and do this on scale.
Yeah.
Like you can use 4 different tools and then as a result, you will have the fully automated workflow.
Yeah.
Lots of people don't know about this, and that's okay. And when we share this new stuff, that people are like really happy. They probably will not use this, but they are already happy. That's one thing. And the second one, when you do some cold email reviews, when you or share some templates from your team, one video, one template, one explanation why it works, and so on and so forth, and you share it. So be simple with this.
That's all. Okay, I did miss the last part, but keep it simple and experiment more if I'm not wrong. Thanks, Ilya. I think I'm done with the questions, and I know people do have a few other questions to add as well, but I'll make sure that they get your LinkedIn. Would LinkedIn be the best place to hang out, or is it something else?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys can find him out on LinkedIn. If not, it'll be there as a part of the email which comes to you as well. Yes, we'll be sharing the recording in a couple of days. And Ilya, once again, thanks a lot for making this up. And it was such an amazing session, a lot of value add. Thanks once again, man.
Yeah, okay. And that was awesome to talk to you. Thanks for inviting me, really. Okay. If you have any questions, ping me on LinkedIn at any time. Okay, bye-bye.
Hey, thanks. I'll just drop your LinkedIn address in the chat as well for people who want to connect. Oops, that's quite a lot. I think that should take you away. So yeah, just feel free to connect with Ilya there, and he'll have your question answered. See you guys once again in another webinar. Thanks, Ilya. Thanks, guys, for joining. Cheers. Bye-bye.